An important question in power scaling Kisame is whether or not he can absorb Sage Chakra. Absorbing Chakra is Kisame's main gimmick, as it's the ability that gives him an edge over most shinobi. This means that if he can't absorb Sage Chakra, he can't compete with enemies like Naruto and Jiraiya. Moreover, the only character we've seen absorb Sage Chakra was the Prelapath, who Naruto turns into a petrified frog. Considering all of this, the natural conclusion becomes that absorbing Sage Chakra will petrify you if you aren't a skilled sage. However, this isn't actually accurate to what happened when the Prelapath fought Naruto, which is the main focus of this video. When the Prelapath fought Naruto, he wasn't really absorbing Sage Chakra, and let me explain why. Forming Sage Chakra is very similar to preparing a bechamel sauce. For a bechamel sauce, fat is heated to a high heat before adding an equal amount of flour. Then, once you've done that, milk is incrementally added to avoid forming doughy lumps. What makes this sauce so difficult to prepare is the work required to prevent the flour from burning or the roux from forming into a dough. Similarly, Sage Chakra is also very hard to prepare. Rather than adding fat, flour, and milk, a shinobi is required to blend nature energy, stamina, and chakra. Additionally, the consequence for preparing Sage Chakra incorrectly isn't burnt flour or doughy lumps, but turning into a petrified frog. So here's the important takeaway. Once you make a sauce, that's pretty much it, you just put it on food. And likewise, once you've already mixed Sage Chakra, that's also it, you just use it. There's no more control to be had over that nature energy because it's already been formed into proper Sage Chakra. It's the cooking process of Sage Chakra that's so difficult, not the storage or utilization of it. This is why Naruto needed to meditate while forming Sage Chakra, but could still move while actually using Sage Chakra. Similar to drinking a bowl of prepared bechamel sauce, the Prelapath simply drinks his enemy's Sage Chakra. In fact, he does this multiple times with large quantities of chakra, including the Sage Art Odama Rasengan and the Sage Art Rasen Shuriken. For reference, there's so much chakra in a Rasen Shuriken that Madara Uchiha, the dude who casually dropped 2 meteors from the sky, comments on how insane a quantity of chakra is in one of those things, and despite such a large quantity of chakra, Madara still manages to absorb it using the Prelapath. In every instance of the Prelapath absorbing large quantities of Sage Chakra, the absorber is completely unfazed, without even so much as a pimple on their face, so the question becomes, why did the Prelapath turn into a frog when he fought Naruto? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple. The Prelapath was initially unfazed by draining Naruto's chakra because Naruto's Sage Chakra was pre-mixed, meaning that the nature energy the Prelapath would absorb had already been properly proportioned, blended, and cooked into usable chakra. The reason that the Prelapath turns to stone is that Naruto starts to absorb excessive amounts of nature energy, knowing that he won't turn to stone because the energy is being sucked out of him by the Prelapath. So the difference becomes that now the nature energy the Prelapath is absorbing is not properly mixed into Sage Chakra. It's become this sort of malproportioned mess. This is why Naruto says nature energy is hard to control rather than saying Sage Chakra is hard to control, because he isn't really giving the Prelapath true Sage Chakra. Going back to the sauce analogy, after the Prelapath downed an entire pot of Sage Chakra sauce, Naruto was sitting there like, well, I guess I better make another pot. But the difference was that this time he intentionally messed with the sauce. He burned the flour and he turned the roux into dough, incorporating a disproportionate amount of nature energy into what was supposed to be a smooth Sage Chakra bechamel sauce. So while initially the Prelapath had been absorbing a properly prepared sauce, he was now drinking a pot of gooey charcoaled slop. So the Sage Chakra wasn't really Sage Chakra at all. It was an intentionally sabotaged pot of wannabe Sage Chakra, and that's why the Prelapath turned into a petrified frog. So upon reanalyzing the Prelapath's petrification, we can draw the conclusion that chakra absorbers like Kisame and the Prelapath are capable of absorbing Sage Chakra. The only reason they would be petrified would be that the chakra was sabotaged during the actual cooking process. So, TLDR, it's safe to say that Kisame is capable of absorbing Sage Chakra 9 times out of 10. And that's pretty much the conclusion of this video. So if you like this content, please like and subscribe, hit the notification bell, and you can tune into more of this fire in the future. I do a combination of primarily Naruto and My Hero Academia content on my channel, so if you're interested in either of those two animes, you should really stay tuned for my upcoming content.